Hi guys. Is LeBron James the Antichrist? At first glance, this might seem ridiculous, but let's do the bare minimum thinking about it first. Um, is he associated with the number 666? Well, what number is he? Is he number 5? Is he number 7? He's number 6, and he's been number 6 3 times um, in professional basketball. Uh, the Cavaliers he was 23, but then he was on the Heat as 6, and then he was 23 on the Cavs again, his second coming to the Cavaliers, and anyway, then he becomes 6 again on the Lakers. I think he was 23 on the Lakers at first, and then he switched back to 6 for the third time. So that's 3 6s. So at least we have some claim to the association with the number 6 3 times, right? So far so good. So maybe it's worth looking into a little bit more. Now, disclaimer, I have bipolar 1 and I'm on my meds. This is purely speculative and for entertainment purposes only, and because I love Jesus Christ. And I was watching, I love the Lakers too, and I was watching the game when James passed Kareem with a beautiful fadeaway. And congratulations to LeBron, and mad respect to him and love for his family and everything. Um, but I'm just pointing out uh, the obvious associations between him and the Antichrist, and then I'll get into some more subtle ones. But I'm in no way condemning him. Uh, I'm just pointing it out. So purely speculative and for entertainment purposes only. Um, let's keep going. Forget what I was saying there. So, is he associated with anything biblical? Well, what do we call him in the media? We call him King James. Even when he was like a rookie, they started calling him King James. And maybe that's from the Bible, like it's got a nice ring to it because people know in their subconscious it's like the King James Bible. So if he's LeBron James, it doesn't take a media genius to say King James. But he really has lived up to that name, and he really has been crowned the king. He's the scoring King James. So I just want to point out that the most popular version of the Bible, or the most well-known authorized version, is the King James Bible. So far we are directly associated with uh, coming somewhere a second time, but I'll get into that later. That's more subtle. But we're directly associated with the digit number, the digit 6, and he's worn it for 3 different jerseys, or 3 different, played for 3 different places. The United States, uh, yeah, he's worn 6 for 3 different places: the United States, Miami, and Los Angeles. And so we'll keep going because I have a lot more evidence. um, so here he's got devil horns coming out of him where it says Vogue. If you don't think that they did that on purpose to associate him with the beast or the devil, then I will get into that later. Um, it has to be subtle for it to work. Anyway, so this is directly out of the Bible. It says, "Whom God raised up, having loosed the pages of death, since it was not possible for him to be held by it. This Jesus God has raised up, of which we are all witnesses." And then in the Nike commercial, it says, "We are all witnesses" of LeBron James. And I just wanted to point out that that is from a Bible verse, Acts 2:24, talking about Jesus. So when they say we are all witnesses and they show LeBron and it's a testimony to his greatness, just want you to realize that that is taken directly from the Bible, none other than the King James Bible, although I think this is a slightly different version, this phrasing. Um, but it does say witnesses in both. But we are all witnesses is I think, a slightly different way to say it. but it is right here. Um, so so far so good, right? There is a connection between, and the swoosh I get into later, but there's a connection between LeBron James and the and Jesus Christ, but not Jesus Christ, more of an antichrist, like a false Messiah. Like in the Bible, the end of the Bible, the book of Revelation, it talks about there will be a second coming of Christ, but before then there will be false Christs and an antichrist who's against Jesus but poses kind of as him. Satan masquerades as an angel of light, so to speak. But let's just go down. What about, like, what else is there about, if there was a antichrist on Earth? He would have to be associated with a goat, right? Because Satanism has the goat, the Baphomet, like this guy, right? This would have to be associated. Basically, I'm saying LeBron at the top is related to this. That's the connection this video is about. And sure enough, here's a goat wearing a LeBron James jersey that Shannon Sharpe is on the show Undisputed is calling him the greatest of all time. The acronym is spelled out as GOAT. So interesting, right? Because now we have a connection to the Bible, a connection to 666, a connection to the goat, and we are all witnesses, and the devil horns on the magazine on purpose, and it only gets worse. So I, as a Christian, read the Satanic Bible last month or 2 months ago. I didn't really finish it because it's just spells at the end of it, but I read the parts worth reading in the beginning and the middle, and just to learn about it. And it said that magic works better if you're doing destruction spells on somebody else and they don't believe in magic. It's more effective. Like, it's like good, you know. They'll only be more vulnerable to it for not believing it can happen. So, I mean, that's straight out of their Bible. And then I just want to say, I forget where I learned this from, but mind control, I think it was Adam Pants, Jonathan Adam Pants, Reconnecting the Spirit. Mind control works better. Similarly, it works better on people who don't believe in mind control. But I also want to say it has to be subtle, because if, like this, where we go, this is subtle. It's mind control in a sense, because it's taking something biblical and twisting it into something that's not, and giving you a false savior by using the word of God against God. Thou shalt have no other gods before me, etc., etc. So mind control works better on people who don't believe in mind control, and it backfires if it's too obvious. For example, if you look at the most recent Nike ad for LeBron James that they updated for passing Kareem, it's got a preacher preaching about how he's testifying of the greatness of LeBron, and he's calling him, he's saying people who speak on his name, and he's saying the word his like with a capital H, like God or Jesus, who is God. Jesus is the Son of God, and he is also God. You better believe it. And of course, is LeBron James associated with belief at all? Believing? Well, it's called Believe Land in Cleveland, Ohio, because the Browns are so bad and the Cavs were so bad, and they believed, and LeBron came back, and this is them when he left. They're taking it down, um, you know, but, and this is the goddess of victory, the Zeus's chariot with wings, and she's the god of victory, speed, and uh, strength. So, so when he comes back after they tear him down, it's what number are his teammates? Well, he has love with a 0, So no love. Uh, Jesus is full of love, and LeBron might not be, according to this. But that's a stretch. Like, I'll give you that. But I do want to point it out. Like, because in investigating this, I just thought, well, who are LeBron's best teammates and what are their numbers? Well, Chris Bosh was number one. Like, the chosen one could be a reference to LeBron. Love is zero, could be a reference to no love, because he's the Antichrist would have no love. And then this would be the second coming, Kyrie too. I would say it's because it's why did LeBron come back to Cleveland? Because Kyrie Irving was there and saying, "Come back, we need you to return." It's your second stint in Cleveland, in Believeland. So he's associated with belief. His teammates' numbers, numerologically, if you like that, there it is. The way God organized the universe is, these numbers will always work out when you analyze them, because uh, it just means you're paying attention, and He'll reward you for that. So who are his best teammates? What number are they when LeBron is number 6 and he wins a ring? Well, so we have when he's 23, it's 2 times 3 is 6, but that's not important. I would just say his best teammate was Kyrie, and it's his second coming to Cleveland. And then when he goes to Miami, Dwayne Wade is number 3. So you have the three sixes, 666. And AD is 3 6 right next to each other. When LeBron and AD win the title for the Lakers. And the Heat in the Lakers, the lake of fire, hell. Like, is LeBron James, can you make any association with hell with him? Well, what team's he on? The Lakers and the Heat. Okay. Maybe he's a little cavalier in the beginning, which puts him in the Heat lake, um, the lake of fire, hell. So he's the king of hell. Um, Cavalier is showing a lack of proper concern. Um, and Cleveland. Just wanted to point out cleave is a biblical word, like a man shall leave his mother and father and cleave unto his wife. They shall be one flesh. Um, but that's just me doing research, not necessarily evidence of anything. Then the vaccination thing, he comes out, and this is from the press conference when he said it's a private decision, and it bothered everyone because he wasn't vaccinated and basically said he wasn't gonna tell you. And now he says he is after doing research, but he might be lying about that. The fact is, he didn't do it, and he's not comfortable telling other people to do it because he believes in bodily autonomy strongly. And, God bless you, LeBron. You know, I just think that there's a little bit too many coincidences to not make a video about. So, is he really vaccinated? Would a man who spends $1 million or $1 billion a year on his body, probably $1 million, um, would he really take an injection that's supposed to help him against a virus that wouldn't be able to kill him? Sounds risky to me, so I wouldn't do it. I didn't do it. So chosen one. He's got it tattooed on him. Sports Illustrated called him that. Um, Slightly blasphemous. I couldn't really find a good connection, like a Bible verse that says Jesus is the chosen one, but I'm pretty sure it says that somewhere, like God chose him, or I mean, usually it's a reference to like God's chosen children, that we follow God and He chose us. Um, so usually that's the association. Um, and then this was me doing a Google search for LeBron James, King of Kings, because I thought, how long before we stop calling him King James and start calling him the King of Kings, which is a direct blasphemous statement against Jesus, depicted here in this book. Um, This is the link that you should follow for the Nike ad. That is, it has a preacher preaching about LeBron James. It's just disgusting. And it says, when you speak on his name, you're gonna go higher. And they got King James. So it's like a Jesus like style preacher, but talking about LeBron. And I love LeBron more than most. I love the Lakers. I love LeBron on the Heat, and I loved him on his return to the Cavs when he beat the Warriors. I made like $300 in my league. Nobody else thought that the Warriors would lose that, but I figured that LeBron and Kyrie would not be defeated in that situation. Um, so the most famous quote about LeBron during a game is LeBron James during this dunk with no regard for human life when he was on the Cavs as a young player. And I mean, no regard for human life and no love and a false Christ. And I'm guilty of being a false prophet or a false Christ, or I'm guilty of blasphemy. I'm not judging LeBron. I'm just pointing out that he's on the Lakers and he used to be on the Heat. And that is a reference to hell, or can be associated with the lake of fire, a heat lake. Anyway, um, not much more. Just want to end with MJ. My initials are MJ, Max Jan. Check out maxjan.com, Jann. And LeBron James is an alpha male, and that's why he has high social intelligence, and he's a pass first guy. Um, and he, the gorilla at the top needs to monitor the other gorillas and make sure they don't rise up against him by keeping them happy because he's already got everything. He just wants to protect himself. But I've called myself Elam Apla, which is an anagram for alpha male. It's a backwards, but I think of it more as an anagram. I just try to find anagrams by spelling things backwards and working from there. It's a good way to start. But MJ, I've always felt a connection to Michael Jordan because they call him MJ, and I sign my initials MJ. And so, you know, Shannon Sharp, like last thing I kind of want to say is Shannon Sharp, uh, he constantly brings up that, oh, this he was made in a lab. When he's talking about LeBron James, he says, oh, he was made in a lab. And, I'm a smart person, an educated person who would do well on an IQ test and beat you in chess or Halo or any type of game, strategy game. Um, I'm I'm intelligent, and I've honestly asked myself the question: is LeBron James real? Is he a real human being with no steroids or human growth hormone or some sort of secret sauce, or maybe he was made in a lab and they built him to be the next MJ? And Kobe was legit replicating MJ as best he could, but LeBron was like actually like maybe they took some of MJ's genetic code and then gave him the body of a god, basically. Because Michael Jordan would soar to heights that were beyond his capabilities. And then with LeBron, his capabilities are remarkable, regardless of what he does with them. So that's a huge difference between those two players. And especially even Kobe. And Kobe and Jordan excelled past their ceiling. We don't know what LeBron James's ceiling is, except for when he's on the Heat and he's been there for a year and he's got Wade and he's dunking over the top of John Lucas and staring him down. And I wrote the Book of Elam pointing out that when it comes to good and evil, you're most likely to call LeBron James evil instead of like if you had to call a basketball player evil, it's not the bad players, it's the good players. It's the best players that are the most evil or seeming. Like when he's on the Heat. Anyways, just read my Book of Elam, read my blog, um, subscribe to my channel. I'm one subscriber away from 100. I think this is cool. Congratulations, LeBron. You know, congratulations to your family. And you seem like you have a nice wife and daughter and 2 sons. And I hope you stay in Lakerland and your son gets to play a game with you. And maybe you get 7 rings and you seal the discussion, right? But even then, Jordan was like the Montana to Brady. Montana was 4-0 in the Super Bowl and like I think like 13 touchdowns, no picks, or something like 20 touchdowns, no picks, something like that. It's like Brady has more Super Bowls, but kind of a messier run. LeBron's the same way compared to MJ, where he didn't win 3-peats twice in a row, separated by a baseball career. But he did do some remarkable things of his own that no one's ever done, including score the most points, win championships everywhere he went, and he's just incredible. But he's so good that I honestly, as an intelligent person, think he might not be human. And it's a compliment, it's a testament to his greatness as a human being that that's what we're capable of. But his ability to recover and not get injured, um, you know, I mean, someone this good has so many eyes on him. I think he's a real human being. Maybe he doesn't even know the assistance that he's getting. Or maybe he's praying to the devil or something. I don't know what his secret is. Or if he even has one. Other than his private decision to stay unvaccinated for a moment until he lied about it later, in my opinion. But maybe he is vaccinated. That's fine. I don't think it would be hard to lie about that and say, yep, the team's fully vaccinated, even if he isn't. I think there's an entire economy to LeBron James's greatness. Wade was really great too. Kobe was great. AD was great. Kyrie's my favorite. Love played good D on Curry that one possession. That's all he needed. And Bosch made that great tip to Ray Allen. All these things had to happen. But is LeBron James the Antichrist? Have I made an impossible thing seem more possible in this video? Do you deny that there is a biblical significance or some sort of Antichrist symbolism or blasphemy happening? Do you deny? Remember, it only works on you if it's subtle. And then, see, the danger is kids born 200 years from now, when they hear King James, they don't know the Bible. They think of this man. Or when they hear we are all witnesses, they don't know that's talking about Christ and it's biblical. They think it's talking about LeBron James and the Greek goddess of victory and Nike. What are we leaving behind What are the children learning subconsciously? You know, and that's all I got. Elam out. God bless.